right, guys, wanted to do a little bit of a update for the end of the week here, and wanted to kind of show you what I've got going on. So I've posted a few Facebook Lives over this week about this particular engine, and it looks really not clean right now because it's all mocked up. So we'll throw in some pictures of this engine as I built it to kind of show you a little bit more about it. But basically, this started out life as a hybrid of a 356C and a Porsche 912 engine from 1968. And it'll go into Miles Collier's Porsche 356C. And this engine went from 1600 cc's up to 1925. And I accomplished that with LN Engineering Nicky cylinders, some JPS billet aluminum cylinder heads, and a lot of other trick items that you'll learn a little bit more about later. So it does have a custom stainless exhaust on it that will be a bit stealthy. It'll fit under the car. You really won't see it. It'll still have the original tailpipe locations, which all have to be adjusted. And as it is right now, it's just mocked up because I basically built all the ancillaries on this from either new or new old stock components and a couple of used pieces because, like I said, it goes in a 356C, but it was based from a 912. I did dress up the front timing cover a little bit and things like that to kind of make it look a little bit more 356-ish rather than 912-ish. So the 44 millimeter Solex, very rare 44 millimeter Solex carbs are being finished right now, so that's why they're not fitted. Got to do a couple things, got to drill a hole for that to go through the blower housing, some things like that. Of course, now most of the tin wear has just been blasted, and the guys at REVs Institute, where this engine lives, or will live, in Mr. Collier's 356, are going to do all the dress-up work and paint the tins and all that sort of thing before sending them back to me so I can finish the engine. So what you see here is a long block with all the ancillaries mocked up. Again, 1925 cc. It even has the JPS billet aluminum intake manifolds that are CNC. And again, they're pretty stealthy as well. So you can see a lot of the work that I've done to the rocker arms and all that here. I've popped the valve covers off so you can see that. And if you look on the Air-Cooled Technology Facebook page, you'll see as I was making progress, I posted those photos. So I put a lot of attention to detail into this one. It's got a lot more attention to detail to go. I had to mock it up just so I'd be able to facilitate ensuring that I got all the pieces marked to have to be plated and all the pieces that are going to be painted certain colors in the right location. I'm missing a couple of things like the clamp that holds the canister up, some stuff like that I have to source. But that's what happens when you basically build an engine out of a bunch of boxes. So that's what I've got going on with that engine. Then this is my next job. So if you look over here, this is the bits for a 2563 Type 4. And this one will go into a Porsche 912E. And this is pretty much everything that I've got lined up to go together with it over the next couple of weeks. It has LE 200 CNC cylinder heads. It has the isotropic super finished valve springs as the valve severe duty valve train upgrade. It has thermal dispersant coated cylinder heads, and also you'll see that the chambers have been thermal barrier coated as well. So there's a lot of things that we do. That is not a do-it-yourself kit. That is a very expensive process, but it is certainly worth it with our engines. The back-to-back testing of that has been extreme. So what you see here is a prototype of a Air-Cooled Technology billet valve cover. So these will be manufactured very soon. This one was just basically sent as a prototype from LN Engineering, who will be manufacturing these for us. They'll be laser etched, as you see, and they're actually going to incorporate an O-ring, so you won't use a gasket with that anymore. And they do pick up the 4 rocker arm bolt holes, okay? And then here is a prototype, also 3D printed, of the billet backing plate we're working on. So I'm tired of having to use just the Type 1 DTM, there should be Type 1 backing plates with questionable quality when we do a DTM cooling system. So we're making these out of billet as well. They'll be Air-Cooled Technology branded too. Just wanted to kind of show you a couple of those things. It'll be accessories here before long. Not sold, just used on our engines. We don't sell any parts anymore. Haven't since 2012. So here, Ellen Engineering 102 millimeter Nicky's cylinders. Nicky's cylinders are a part of every air-cooled technology build, as well as a custom set of CP pistons. H-beam connecting rods that have been cryogenically enhanced, which is why they have that kind of a hue, the golden hue to them. And that's pretty much the major pieces. I'll be doing some updates over the coming days as I put this engine together, but we don't do a lot of updates from the air-cooled technology side just because I'm building these engines personally, and a lot of times I'm in my own world working on them, like I've been working on this one since last October. So it's on the final home stretch. And that's pretty much everything about it. I do want to tell you that we've got some really cool JPS billet aluminum 356 rocker arms we're going to be testing on this engine as well. Okay? So if you want to go over to revsinstitute.org, you can look at the 65 Porsche 356C. It's blue. That car is Mr. Collier's personal car. He's had it longer than probably every Porsche in the collection. Go check it out, and you'll see where this engine will end up living in the very near future.